Listening to the same playlist every day and letting my delusions consume me is my favorite hobby for real. Relatable. Hi again, guys, and welcome back to the all-consuming delusion in question. I'm assuming that because you guys watch my videos, you spend a lot of time smoothing out all the wrinkles on your brain by watching TikTok for half of your waking hours. And if you do, you've probably seen this fancy new slideshow feature in the last few months. It basically lets you play a series of pictures that slide to the next one every few seconds, set to whatever TikTok sound you want. You can choose to save the individual pictures, all of them, pause the slideshow as you need while the background music will keep playing. It fixes a lot of tiny problems that some of the content on the app had. Like if you've ever seen the TikToks of people just staring dead-eyed and silent as a corpse at the camera with a screenshot of a tweet floating over their head like a noose, you'll get to see multiple of those same funny types of tweets from one slideshow. It's much more bang for your buck. The thing is, while the slideshow feature can theoretically be used for anything, it's associated for and used for posting one kind of thing: contemplating the pointlessness of the universe and wallowing in the crushing comfort of your own misery, aka doomer posting. A few months ago, people started putting the most soul-sucking, hope-crushing memes you'll ever see set to the sound of 12 Stout Street by RX Poppy in slideshows. That song is kind of the perfect soundtrack to mankind's despair. Hell, listening to that song on its own is hard. It's just someone pouring their heart and Gordian knot of emotions out on a beat like he's trauma dumping to the first person to show him any sense of empathy in his life. They took my brother that fucked me up. Perk after perk, they fucking me up. Thousands of perks later, still don't do nothing. Shit's barely working. They're supposed to make me numb. And that's just scratching the surface. There's a lot of stuff in there. What I'm trying to say is, it's tonally fitting. A lot of these posts were probably cries for help, and the response in the comments was always an overwhelming chorus of real, from people who thought the person making the slideshow was just like them for real, but not knowing what to do to help either themselves or the poster. I don't know if it was because of the doomer spiral specifically, but the slideshow feature was disabled for a little bit, and it almost feels like TikTok did it because they realized they were actively deteriorating the mental states of their users a little too fast, so they turned it off for a little bit. It did not last though, because the slideshows have returned, and it is worse. And you can see people despairing over its return in real time when they realize what is about to happen to their already fragile sense of self. Why did TikTok bring these back? I was doing so well in life, not really. I thought I was making progress too, but then the slideshows hit me in the face, and now I'm barely keeping it together, man. So naturally, my coping method was to make a video on it. If you enjoy this vid, which I doubt you will, there will be this big card at the end that takes you to another doomer nihilist video like it. And did you know only a fifth of y'all are subscribed with notifications on? At this point, listen, you might as well subscribe and hit the bell. You'll never miss an upload. It takes 2 seconds, and honestly, what more do you have to lose at this point? Definitely not your sanity. Congrats to whoever preyed on my downfall. You won! The naked SpongeBob really ties the relatability together for me. I'd just be coming home at night, sad as shit, with my whole cock hanging out. I don't think SpongeBob has a penis, but if he did, he would just be like me for real. As a man, why are you smiling? Now this is real. It is actually kind of suspect to smile. Like, what are you so happy about? Seeing another man? That's a little gay man, and I'd know because I am a little gay man. Are you winning, son? And his son is Sisyphus, who is cursed to never win nor lose, stuck only in the monotony of his work. Meaning his father is either a cruel master who knows what the answer shall be till the end of time, and he's only asking him regularly if he's achieved victory to taunt him over his fate, or he just has Alzheimer's. This year was a movie for real. You're the main character. Damn, my life a movie for real. This one was sandwiched between two really soul-stabbing shitposts, and it just felt so out of place it made me lose a butt cheek laughing. Just the idea of Instagram and Spotify moding a depression spiral depicted by the hiding and shotgun-wielding trollface meme caught me off guard. My life is a movie for real. It sure was. The Joker. He thought he was capable of redemption, but now finally understands the futility of his suffering. LMAO. I think the creation of the wojak was one of the worst things humanity could have done to itself. A lot of people theorize that we will ultimately make ourselves go extinct, either through climate change or nuclear apocalypse or whatever else. But I think just as good an argument could be made for the wojak doing that. It has let the human mind paint a picture of its endless lows in a way more easily consumable and shareable than ever before. It feeds back into making people feel more like shit, and that feeds as fuel for more wojaks to get created until the end of time. It's a vicious cycle. I'm so fucking awesome. Everyone loves me. This is the pep talk I have to give myself for an hour straight in the mirror before I go live on twitch.tv/Kwite on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm just about to have so many sets of eyeballs on me, and I agonize over if they'll see the peanut butter stain on my lips. It's from when I had a peanut butter burger, and I'm scared they'll realize that I like peanut butter on burgers like some kind of freak. A scientist will see a mouse or a rat and say, "Put that beast in a situation. Stop giving me your toughest situations. You are my my best beast. Do you ever feel like one of God's lab rats sometimes? Like maybe humans weren't made in his image to make choices and thrive at all, but rather we're here to test things for him as guinea pigs. Some of us will inevitably perish in the name of progress or for having a control group, so God can figure out how that might translate to him doing some shit like that. Bro, your stories are so funny. What the fuck is going on in your head? You need help. Thank you. He just completely skips the second message, and he is right to do so. It's just like the old saying we all know, if I close my eyes and scream really loud so I can't hear or see anything, then nothing is there. Treat spiders the way you want to be treated. Killed without hesitation. Generally speaking, people do treat me how I treat spiders, by screaming and jumping as far away as they can as soon as they realize I'm there, before screaming, oh my god, what is that thing, somebody kill it. Was he the first white boy to make it out the mud? This one is completely out of the norm for what we looked at today. I found it in one of these depression slideshows where it came off as very out of place. It feels like some people have been putting pictures of cute cats or meant to be funny memes between their cry for help memes in order to soften the overall impact. The slideshow meta has changed drastically since the first time it came around. I'm thinking maybe I should do a bit of that wholesome padding here for your sake as well. Hey, check out how hard I can cry. So, how was my cry act? Pretty good, right? It sounds really believable because I practice doing it for real all the time. Never reach to anyone for help. Suffer in silence. In fact, make your problems worse. Destroy yourself. Don't be a coward. Just to clarify, that is bad advice. It's not very good for you and you shouldn't do that. But this might be one of a select few Homelander memes that even begins to understand what the point of the character is. I am speechless. Proceeds to give speech. You are doing a whole lot of talking for someone who claimed to not have a mouth. My hungry ass could never be a surgeon. Real. That being said, I think the inclusions of memes like this in a video like this is important, because up till now I've painted a pretty grim picture of what the landscape of TikTok slideshows look like, and for me it's completely true. But I shouldn't paint the whole medium as a monolith. Some people actually do get funny memes put on their For You page, and things catered to their niche interests. But it won't change that most of the slideshows are still made by people who stared into the abyss and began to shed tears as they gazed upon its horrid and unfathomable beauty. Riddle me this, Batman. Why do I cry myself to sleep every night? If I had to answer this from the Riddler's perspective specifically, it's probably because he met his idol, Batman, and they thought he was totally lame and called him all sorts of mean names. So now all he's left with is a shattered worldview and his tears. Not gonna lie, some of you deserve the shit you're going through. I really wish you would've lied, man, because I already know. I remind myself every Sunday at 1 a.m. while staring at the ceiling in bed that all of this is my fault. I do like this meme though, because it could be skewed as positive. Like the person who made this could potentially be talking about people who are doing really well in their lives. They're finding happiness and stability, and this fella is like, good for them. They've really had it a long time coming and deserve to enjoy life. When I'm happy, I say, bitches love my mustache. When I'm sad, I say, this time I'm really gonna do it. He's talking about really shaving his mustache this time, by the way. Nothing else. These two thoughts are directly correlated. This fella here has wanted to try going clean shaven for some time now, but he feels social pressure to keep it for the enjoyment of others. So when he's sad, he uses that sorrow as motivation to do something truly for himself and shave his facial hair. He's taking control and giving himself the look he actually wants to have. It doesn't mean anything else. Guys, this loneliness is getting really hard to romanticize. Too true, man. I can only cope by making Pinterest mood boards for so long. Sooner or later, I'm gonna have to do hard drugs. Sometimes I want to quit social media, but then it would be a better place without me, so I stay. This is essentially how I treat my addiction to Twitter. Using it less or stopping altogether would probably make me a much healthier person, but plenty of people say that every time I tweet, I actively ruin their day with the decrepit shit I put on their timeline. And it's exactly because I'm able to make other people's days worse that I stick around to keep doing it. At least when I suffer on that hell site, I'm making sure everyone else is too. And just in general, the suffering of other people is entertaining to me, /J. Self-love is gay. Always hate yourself as much as you can. Listen, fellas, is it gay to be emotionally healthy? Now, there is a glimmer of hope amongst this sea of grief, because while the severity and amount of videos I see of people giving form to their despair through memes has gotten worse, I see a counter-movement rising up as well. There have been people making explicitly optimistic meme slideshows in an effort to combat the ones destroying people. Sometimes it's just a bunch of slides with positive messaging like, real shit, I be smiling a lot. I hate sadness. People think I'm sad. Life has been getting better. Stuff like that. But some have even described humanity as an unbeatable force of will. We've managed to overcome and become better so much over history, so we can do this or whatever. The indomitable human spirit dunking on the cruelty of the universe. When I'm in a compassion and hope contest and my opponent is the indomitable human spirit. The indifferent cruelty of the universe when the indomitable human spirit walks into the room. Admittedly, the message here kind of has its kneecap shot out from under it when you realize realize that 2 of the 3 memes I just showed you have iFunny watermarks, meaning they were made by nerds. But the point stands. In the face of adversity, you can always make it through. Unfortunately, I can't. Back to being sad. Not too fond of myself. Now this is a clever flip on the classic tale of the homophobic dog. You might as well go ahead and pronounce the L in salmon. Nothing matters anymore. We are all going to die. Real talk, for the longest time, the only reason I was able to separate salmon and salmonella as 2 different things and not just 2 different words for the same thing was because you have to pronounce the L in one of them. So I'd really appreciate it if we didn't start doing that because I kind of need it for comprehension. Anyways, I am physically at my limit. Like, I am actually bursting at the seams with pain, so I'm cutting it off here before it can get any worse. That card I mentioned should be on screen, and if you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you can hopefully make that eternal ache in your chest stop, if only for a few moments when I release a new video. Remember, don't go after anyone I talked about today, and seriously, fellas, take care of yourselves. It's fun to do a little swim deep in the unfeeling void sometimes, you know, as a bit, but make sure you remember to swim back to the surface and treat yourself good, fellas. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and I need therapy.